Welcome back, Sebastian here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the second race from the 2024 Formula E Diriyah ePrix. So I thought solid improvement from yesterday, but still I wouldn't say a fantastic race. So it started with Roland on pole and Fines in second, a bit of a surprise qualifying session with a bit of a mixed up grid after Sebastian Buemi crashed heavily in qualifying, and the damage was so severe that he wasn't able to start the race. That the crash meant that when the red flag came out in qualifying, drivers like Jake Dennis, who were in the middle of a push lap, were unable to set a time and were starting much further down the order than they usually would. So it was a slow start by Roland, and Fines takes the lead right from the start. And Hughes also overtakes Derivula at the final corner, I believe, moves up to P5. Ticktum's wretched start to the season continues with going into the pit lane to change his front wing. I think he made contact with the Andretti of Dennis there, but yeah, unfortunate for Ticktum. So the order on lap 4, before the drivers started taking attack mode, was Fines, Roland, Cassidy, Van Dorn, Hughes, Derivula, Fenestraz, Byrne, Senekamera, and Bird rounding out the top 10. So on lap 4, Van Dorn does start the attack mode phase, and he drops to P5 behind Jake Hughes. Lap 5, the following lap, Fines takes attack mode, leading Cassidy to take the lead, as I think Roland had also taken attack mode that lap. Lap 7, a couple laps later, Roland takes a second and final attack mode, but he stays ahead of Van Dorn. So at this point, Cassidy's in the lead, and he's basically just trying to pull away and build as big of a gap as possible from Fines. Lap 10, Bird overtakes the camera for P9 at turn 18, first real proper overtake on track since the opening lap. Lap 12, Verline does the same, big dive bomb from super far back. They do make some contact on the basically while Verline's kind of finishing the move on the exit of the corner, and nothing really comes of that. At this point, the leaders are at 65% energy, and the drivers further back, so kind of around 10th place like Verline, they were at about 69%, so 4% difference in energy there. And the gap between Fines in second and Roland in third was 6 seconds, so the top two had built a massive gap at this point in the race. Lap 13, Van Dorn misses his attack mode and he drops to 5th place, so that's unfortunate for him. Cassidy takes a second attack mode after expending all of that energy to stay in the lead, build that massive gap. He takes a second attack mode and stays in first, crucially for him. So Cassidy's basically worked his way from 3rd place on the grid and through the attack mode phase, and using a lot more energy, he's basically stayed in first. Lap 15, Senekamera continuing to drop to the field. He was at this point, he was in 14th. I wondered maybe he had some damage from the contact with Fairline. We'll have to wait and see. I'll have to go read some articles afterwards. Let's see, lap 16, Fines at this point has caught up to the back of Cassidy, so Cassidy's stopped pushing super hard to basically because he doesn't need the track position anymore because of course he's in first. Derivula drops to 10th place, taking attack mode, lost I think 2 to 3 positions there, so a bit unfortunate for him. And I think at the start of the race, Cassidy was over-consuming a bit to try to save energy so that he could get track position, because we knew from yesterday that overtaking was still pretty difficult. And to kind of highlight that, the gap between Fines and Roland had dropped to 1.7. So basically, a couple laps earlier, lap 10, the gap had been 6 seconds, but had dropped 6 laps later to only 1.5 seconds, and would continue to drop further. So lap 21, Bird tries to overtake Fenestraz, but unfortunately Fenestraz pushes him wide at turn 19, and that allows Verline to kind of sail through and take P7. Gunther overtakes Derivula basically almost at that same point for P9, and Bird suddenly starts dropping down the order, and it turns out that he hit the wall and it broke the steering on the car. So not great for Bird. Unfortunately, those kinds of things tend to happen with him, where he just has great races and then the next race he'll hit the wall and break the car. So yeah, unfortunate for Bird, dropping down the order, and he would have to come into the pits and retire. Lap 23, Jev overtook Verline at turn 18, but Verline, who I think was in attack mode at that point, retakes the position at turn 1. So probably the only move that I think we've seen at turn 1 this weekend. Lap 25, Deruvilla locks up going into turn 18 and loses 3 positions there. So yeah, I think Deruvilla continuing to struggle, and I wrote down cars are finally able to attack. So basically took almost like 2/3 of the way through the race, or almost, like 75% of the way through the race, for the cars to have the track to grip up enough that with the Hankook tires that these cars have, that they were able to finally get the grip to put the power down and to make moves, which is, I think, really unfortunate that, these first 3 races, the racing has been so poor, I think, relative to what we usually expect, especially since it's the part of the season where, F1 hasn't started, so there's a lot more casual viewers. Let's see, yeah, so lap 26, Deruvilla gets mugged by Muller and De Vries at turn 18, they're getting worse. Fine next lap, providing more action for us. Deruvilla stops at the end of turn 18 and he comes on the radio saying that he has a brake failure. So that would kind of explain some of the problems that he'd had previous laps, where he locked up and lost 3 positions, or where he got mugged by Muller and De Vries. Of course, he already started dropping through the field through the first half of the race, but of course it's kind of hard to tell with these kind of mechanical issues, when does the issue start happening. Lap 30, the leaders with about 19% left, and they had 6 laps to go, so a bit tight on energy there. Lap 34, Ticktum pits to retire the car. I think he was a lap down. There wasn't really much point in continuing. Lap 35, nobody wants a repeat of Cassie yesterday. Like, Roland's engineer had come on the radio and basically told him, no risk, no risk. Basically, don't make a move at all unless you're absolutely certain that you're going to be able to make that move done. Final lap, yeah, not a repeat of Cassie, a repeat of Evans. Yeah, that's a mistake. But yeah, final lap, Cassie takes a checkered flag, wins a pretty solid race, pretty well controlled race as well. Not quite as dominant as Dennis yesterday, but still excellent job. Degrassi also runs out of energy with a couple corners to go. You could see he hit 0%. And he basically just dropped in position to set a comma. So, your result from the second race of the Diriyah ePrix. Cassidy first, Fine second, and Roland third, rounding out the podium. Great podium for Roland. First podium in quite a while, I would say, probably since season 8 maybe. 4th Hughes, 5th Van Doren, 6th Venestrat, 7th Verline, 8th Byrne, 9th okay, yeah, so Wikipedia, whoever decided to edit the Wikipedia page basically mixed up the I guess either mixed this up, or I don't know what they did, but basically Gunther should be 9th, Dennis should be 10th, and I think Evans was 11th, unless there's some kind of penalty I haven't seen that happened after the race, which is entirely possible. But I basically referenced with motorsport.com, since the Formula E website wasn't working as usual. And I think, as of now, that's where I think the order is. Muller 13th, 14th DaCosta, another really tough race for him. I think he really needs to start getting his performance up there, especially in qualifying. 15th DeVries, 16th Nato, 17th Sadikama, and 18th Degrassi. Your 3 retirements are Ticktum, Deruvilla, and Bird, and of course, Buemi did not start the race. So, finishing up, taking a look at the championship standings. Cassie, solid lead, I think 18 points there, above Verline with 56 points, Verline with 38, then Jevin third with 33 points, and then assuming the standings are based on the race result that actually happened, Dennis 4th with 30 points, 5th Gunther with 20, and then Evans 6th also with, Gunther with Evans 6th with 20 points. Fine 7th with 19, 8th Buemi 18, Roland also with 18 and 9th, and then Hughes also with 18th and 10th. 11th Van Doren with 14 points, 12th Bird with 12, and then Nato in 13th with 9 points, 14th Venestrat with 8, and then Sadikama with 2 points in 15th. And then Mortara, Muller, DaCosta, De Vries, Deruvilla, Degrassi, and Ticktum are yet to get off the mark, all with 0 points. Finishing up with the team's championships, Jaguar, I think, extends their lead there, 76 points. GS Penske second with 47 points. Andretti third with 30, let's see, 39 points. Porsche fourth with 38, and then Ambition fifth with 37. So very close between the three of them. And then McLaren in sixth with 30 points. Nissan in seventh with 26. A whole lot of points today. I think they had no points before today, so great haul, great big haul today. 18th Maserati with 20, and then ERT with 2, and then Mahindra and Abt still with 0. So that's pretty solid second race. I think again, not fantastic. Not a whole lot of overtaking on track. A lot of the changes for position were through the attack mode. So yeah, we're hoping that we get better racing the next race in Sao Paulo, which of course is in I think 7 weeks time. So big massive gap in the calendar, which is also unfortunate. I'll be back I think later tonight with my power rankings for the Diriyah ePrix. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.